Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating it's Saturday, June 10th, 2017. In both the Lynn-Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions and nature realms guardians. And for the past 2 days, the invaders from above, the trespassing body snatchers from above, the dark entity lower vibration body snatchers from above, have been very full of themselves. Pretentious pretense seems to be the order of the day.
That's true.
In addition, we have the interesting physical symptoms that often accompany lack of soul energy. We have, during the day, numbness in the feet. At night, numbness in the arms. And both ground zero host lives, both body minds, have experienced heart palpitations.
That's true.
Which has not been common in these bodies for many, many years. Using those physical symptoms as a doorway, we're attempting to get the entire situation unstuck. As always, our foundational intention is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions to manifest the divine plan for all dimensions, since that's what our soul contracts commit us to doing. And with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin.
Calling straight up the Search for Truth Central Axis for any presences who believe that by looking straight up they can see presences outside of the contamination zone. Stretching way up, way up. It's much clearer in the head now, and very, very, very quiet. I hear a sound like Pan, maybe, from below.
Hey, Pan.
Sounds like Pan.
It does.
Who's saying something like, why don't you just get the kids out of the smaller dimensions?
Okay, let's do that.
Why don't you just do that?
Okay, good
I
idea.
can start to do that. And I feel the cables at the back, and it looks like the train cars of refugee kids from war zones.
Mm-hmm.
They're in really bad shape. A lot of them are bleeding from the head. And there's big tears all of a sudden. I can start to see Pan down below.
I see him.
And it looks like he is himself personally putting the kids onto the cable cars.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, nobody else is coming to help. Nobody else is here.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that scene in Gone with the Wind at the train tracks when Dr. Mead is the only doctor around and there are hundreds or thousands of injured people.
That's true, and it looks like that scene with all the children lying on the ground and Pan picking them up and putting them on the train cars.
Yeah, and nobody else is doing anything.
Nobody else doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Running these cable cars up the back.
Mm-hmm.
And Pan is saying, you're not going to be able to get these kids out of the contamination zone. I think you've proved that with that inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to figure out where you're going to get them to.
As high as we can.
As high as we can. As high as we can. These dead child souls aren't all nature realm souls.
Mm-hmm.
I see spirit world souls and machine world souls.
Mm-hmm.
And it does just seem to be Pan helping them up. Merging in. Pulsing out the cable cars. Now there's room for bigger cable cars. There's a little more opening. Intending to heal the root cause of the symptoms of the numb arms at night and the numb feet in the day and the heart palpitations and whatever these symptoms represent in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do, through all dimensions, since the dimensions are interconnected and interwoven. And Pan is talking about that. He's saying that's why it doesn't work when I just try to clear nature realms children. It doesn't actually work. Even though it sometimes
seems like it should.
Yeah. And sometimes it feels so sad because I put machine zone children in the seats and I see so many nature realms children that I think of as my own not going in the seats. But I know it won't work to just put them there.
More seats.
That's right. I'm seeing the children, the dead child souls popping out onto what looks like a plateau, the top of a mountain, somewhere high and kind of clear and bright and dry, very dry. And stretching deeper, Pan is saying there are kids who have it so much worse deeper down. You think what you're seeing is bad, but you have no idea how bad it actually is.
I'm sure he's correct.
Yeah, I am too. Stretching deeper, pumping from deeper, merging in.
I see mangled bodies.
I do too. And limbs, just limbs in piles. Pan seems to be talking about the difference between urgency and importance.
Yes.
And he says it's easy to spend a whole lifetime and many whole lifetimes focusing on things that seem really urgent, very pressing, and he's saying timely. But what is important is actually what we're evaluated on. And it's easy to pretend that that's not what matters most. And then the trick becomes to tell what's actually important. And he's crying a lot. And putting the kids on the cable cars.
I get the feeling that he feels he himself has wasted an awful lot of time with urgent matters.
Yeah. And he's nodding.
Me too.
Me too.
We could correct the error of focusing on urgent matters.
Yeah.
And ignoring important matters.
Merging. For all of us who focus on urgent matters and ignore important matters. There's big blobs from below, big squishy blobs coming up. Squeezing them up, they're very wet. But they do burn. I'm using that burn to power up these dead children in the race for heaven.
So is the numbness from a lack of upward flow of child souls, a lack of that which is supposed to happen? What
is the numbness? What it looks like, and I could be seeing it wrong, is that child souls are coming up from below and then hitting some blockage, and so the flow stops there and they pool at that place where Pan was when we first started seeing him at the start of the session. I get stuck there at that blockage below the feet, much farther below the feet than I was looking. Down below, maybe below the third earth chakra. I feel like we can get our fingers underneath this big blockage below the earth chakras, or at least below the third earth chakra. And Pan seems really sad as we start to move it. And there feels that like a lot of wishful thinking, like that was something that I
did that I thought would be helpful.
Would be really helpful. I thought that was going to help.
But it made it worse.
It made it worse, and I could see that the children weren't able to get past it. But I didn't want to acknowledge that that was the reason that they couldn't get past it.
I didn't want to acknowledge I don't seem to have a way to make it better.
That's true.
That's kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
Everything is poisoned and no one is coming to help. What are each of us as individuals going to do to make it right?
If we find the error, maybe we can correct it and get this blockage out of here. What is the error?
Not owning our part in universal patterns, maybe.
That's true. And right there, the physical body started sweating again. There's a lot of shifting happening in that blockage space.
We all do this.
We all do this, trying to correct this error for all of us. For all of us who resist or avoid claiming our own part in the universal disaster, taking responsibility for our own parts.
Me too, me too.
Me too, me too. Big tears and clearing in the head, starting to squeeze out this barrier now. It's becoming more liquidy, squishier in the back. It looks kind of like a toad stuck in a pipe.
I like toads.
I also like toads.
They're hard to come by these days.
They are hard to come by. They're not good in pipes, though.
No.
It's not a good place for a toad.
No.
All of us to our right places, starting to tune, to pulse up and down the pillar. All of us to our right places. I feel a lot of spinning off high in the pillar. All of us to our right places. There's a sucking feeling at the top of the pillar. It feels almost like a vacuum sucking things out of the top of the pillar. And they're squirmy things, wormy things. I don't think they're helpful things. It seems like it's a good direction to get them moving out. Getting the cables of dead children running up the back. I see how when I turn the focus to almost anything else almost right away, I stop running the cables. Me too, me too. And the souls stop moving up. And I see Pan throwing his hands up in the air in exasperation and what's it going to take attitude.
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know.
There doesn't seem to be any autocorrection whatsoever, and the moment we turn our focus to other things as we must, this drops off the plate. I don't understand to do either. I don't know what to do.
That's true.
Other than to pick it up again every time I realize I've dropped it.
That's true.
And try again. Try to do better. Nothing is happening automatically, Pan. Nothing. Nothing at all.
He doesn't want to believe that.
Well, I don't either, but it's still true.
It's true.
There's nothing happening automatically.
No, that's true.
There's not even earth energy rising.
No, that's true.
There are no vortices running, no earth energy rising, no cables running. Nothing happens automatically. It requires our focus to do all of those things.
That's true.
So by focusing on the cables, for example, we're not focusing on the upward rising earth energy, nor are we focusing on the vortices. None of those are happening.
That's true.
Nor are we doing our ground zero assignments.
That's true.
I don't like it either.
No, I don't like it at all.
But it is the way it is.
Intending to heal the root causes of these symptoms of numbness in the arms and numbness in the feet and heart palpitations and whatever these symptoms represent in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do.